for me, one of the most interesting issues, Hugh, is this Ozempic issue, or the GLP-1 weight loss drugs. We've seen so much fascination, I think, in markets. And recently, a report from Walmart says their customers who get those prescriptions then go on to buy a lower calorie basket of food when they get to the checkout. You don't see any impact from these drugs so far?
No, and good afternoon. Good to be with you both. So far, we can't detect it in our numbers at all. I recognize that there's obviously a lot of speculation, particularly in the market, on the implications of these drugs. And we're studying it closely, as you would expect us to. The only things I would offer are there's some real barriers to consumption here. Right? Number one, the form of the dose is an injectable, which obviously is something that people have to get over. Number two, they're quite expensive, which suggests that it's probably going to take a while for adoption to get pretty broad. And I know there are other forms that are being looked at, pills and the like, but from what I understand, those are a higher dosage of the active ingredient, which may lead to further side effects as well. So the point of it is, I think the adoption will likely be pretty slow on this. And the result is, as consumers sort of migrate their eating habits, we'll migrate with them. I don't think snacking is going away. People like snacking for a variety of reasons. It gives them an energy boost in the afternoon. There's a social element to it. So I think snacking will continue, but much like we did with zero sugar soda, as people wanted to have less sugar in their diet, to the degree they want to evolve their forms of snacking, I'm pretty sure we're going to be right there with them.
First of all, I love snacking also, obviously, and I'm a huge fan of the munching through a few bags of Frito-Lays. But if I want to aim towards healthier products, what is your greatest hope in terms of, something in the pipeline? What do you think is going to be the biggest hit as the world attempts, at least, to move towards healthier consumption?
Yeah, I think it'll be actually a lot of smaller changes rather than sort of a big hit. I think as people decide to migrate more towards protein, you'll see us add protein into products. To the degree they want more whole grains, we certainly are capable of doing that. To the degree they want reduced fat, that's something that's well within our reach. Reduced sodium, certainly also well within our reach. So, the R&D capability that we've built in PepsiCo on food is really second to none. And as a result of that, I've got confidence we'll be able to evolve the products, and then taking that and combine it with the great brands that we have and combine it with the great distributions and customer relationships that we have. I'm fairly certain we can evolve through all of this. The other piece of it is it's one potential risk or one potential headwind, but there's so many tailwinds attached to this company as well. The fact that people are busy and they're likely to want to destructure meals even more. All of the growth opportunities in our international markets that represent per capita consumption opportunities we haven't even remotely tapped into the potential of yet. I do think it's perhaps being a little overread right now as sort of a single variable that's going to affect the company when there are so many positives here.
On the subject of international, and you've got a lot of those brands that represent PepsiCo behind you, Hugh, there, SodaStream and the operations you have in Israel. I think the world is watching that situation unfold right now. What can you tell us on the operations front in Israel for your business?
Yeah, I mean, right now, this is all obviously very, very real time what's happening. And our concern is for the safety of our associates and their families. That is our top priority by far. And that's something we're devoting a lot of time to. We're not producing right now, so we've suspended production. That's something that we'll continue to examine when we feel it's safe enough for that to happen again. But as I said, more than anything, it's really just about the safety of our colleagues and their families.
And obviously, trying to see where a geopolitical situation goes is quite challenging. I think in this inflationary environment, knowing where we're going to be in a year's time has also been very challenging. But you were asked on your conference call today, just on the inflationary front and some of that commodity inflation, about the guidance that you provided. And I believe you provided some context on your own buying, almost sort of looking ahead upwards of 9 months and sort of how that works for your business. Can you just clarify that for the audience?
Yeah, I'm happy to. So this was something we put into place a good number of years ago. when shortly after I took over as CFO, we made the decision that we want to buy commodities out in advance by about 9 months on average. It varies a bit from commodity to commodity. And the reason that we do that is not that we're trying to guess the market, but rather we're trying to give our internal salespeople as well as our customers certainty in terms of our costs, so therefore certainty in terms of the pricing that we'd be looking to take in the marketplace. Typically, our percentage increase in commodity costs is about equal to our percentage increase in pricing. So by virtue of creating that certainty on the commodity side, it really allows us to manage the business more effectively and to partner with our customers to create growth plans that work really, really well for them and also really, really well for us. So that's what gave us the confidence to give the guide into next year, because we've got pretty good visibility into our costs well into next summer.